Hello everyone and welcome to the part 3 playthrough of the Noble Nemesis. And first Tazar will be dealing with our first pink enemy. But at this point it's a pretty easy fight. The quest guard above this hero actually, the scroll behind this quest guard is blind. So basically at this point we will have a trifecta of spells that basically trivialize almost everything. The resurrection, the blind, the slow. You could add a berserk to this combo, I guess, but we don't really need berserk for the most part. Got a bunch of enchanters, that's a pretty good unit. Although I don't really like them very much. I feel like this spellcast thing, it's potentially extremely strong. Like very good, but at the same time it's just a bit too random for my taste. And actually sometimes in the end game I feel like it may screw up some of your strategies, some of them more like tricky fights could be spoiled a little bit by these spellcasts. So as you can see, this hero is actually pretty weak. Just 6-8 stats. Well, that's a druid, so you basically, that's all you need to know. Druids are not known for like particularly strong stats. Okay, there is a green tent. The path is a little bit obscure, but basically that's where we want to go, into the bushes, and that's the quest related to that hero. Final quest requests to bring Dracon, and will give me another remove obstacle scroll. And those are actually pretty useful. Like, for example, There are quite a few quest guards on the water that request this, and those, among other things, give you extra movement points, like a decent number. So first time you actually end up in the water, you could use, like, you could chain a couple, maybe 3 of these to get to a place where you want, like in one day, basically. Even if this place is relatively far, and possibly even if you don't have any navigation. But I would still suggest having a navigation hero for this part, at least. And also those actually quest guards give you access to some spells, like I think it's blind and slow, and those are not scrolls, so that's actually valuable. So now I only have scrolls of them, of those spells, and I have to pass the scroll back and forth to take advantage of them. That's a bit of a nuisance. Sometimes it's not a problem, because for the most part you can do most fights with your main army if you kind of actually apply a decent effort. Even if there is no town portal, you can use like retreat, you can use town gates on the map to move heroes around the map and like move the army and use different heroes to fight with the same army and the same artifacts. So you can still take advantage of the same scrolls, but obviously if you had these spells, you could use a scholar to teach everyone and you wouldn't really rely on that. Another Teal player and a couple of pinks actually showed up. Maybe one. It looked like one was actually in the open world. There is a slow spell actually here. Didn't realize that. Adrian will wait next to the green border guard to for Tazar to visit the tent. Probably gonna do it next day, so that's nice. She won't lose much time there. Okay, that's a big one, Lizardman Valley. 81 lizards waiting. It's pretty good. Kind of about a half of my army. Okay, it's the same scout. It's not far from my third town though, so I should be a little bit I wouldn't say careful, but should be ready to react. And yeah, just check the movement, so in case maybe it was an empty ship there put from the beginning, but no, that was a hero actually, some hero. So it's month 3 and kind of some AI activity around, but fortunately I already took care of the most pressing issues. I took care of both of my neighbors, and I got access to the slow, resurrection, and blind, the trifecta, and basically that's kind of the biggest power spike, I suppose. So there are a couple of options now. After I take this green tent, I already mentioned I could go for a Teal player. That requires some boating. Could go for another continent where there are 3 more players as well. Okay, a bit of a wasted maneuver there. And also there are a couple more options right now. So one option is, since I already got the green key, I could go to get a town portal. That's one option. And another option, it's a bit of a segue, going a little bit off track with it, but I could go maybe free like Gelu or Dracon for basically to get another decent hero, and also like get an extra, or maybe a couple of extra scrolls of remove obstacle for actually more comfortable time in the water, thanks to the access to those quest guards I mentioned before, those that store movement boosts. And basically at this point I think I'm leaning towards going for the town portal over other things, and mainly because I really don't want to put Tazar on a boat, and sending Adrian, for example, to attack Teal. I feel like it could be a little bit dangerous. Could be a little bit dangerous, and basically the danger is. So why would I send her? Like, let's talk first. So the idea would be that I sail her to the first Teal town, then I take it, then I get my other hero to this town, and then possibly Tazar, for example, and I put him into the boat, and then rinse and repeat basically. But since two towns are on different islands, first I would have to spend a lot of time embarking and disembarking. That's one, and second is that since I have to disembark and waste time, it opens up Adrian, first and foremost, to be attacked by potentially a main hero of the Teal. And that's a bit of a problem, I think. So I don't really want her to be fighting main hero there. So basically this vulnerability during embarks and disembarks is a bit of a problem, I think. And ideally I would want to have an Admiral's hat before I even think about attacking the Teal, but unfortunately it's not gonna happen. There is... I don't know if there are like guaranteed Admiral hats here. Don't exactly remember if even the quest line for the Teal guarantees an Admiral's hat. I do remember it gives at least one of the components, but I'm not sure if it gives both. So getting an Admiral's hat for like any other player, it's probably something that relies on random. So I send Tazar here. There is another pink hero. I'm not sure I even should waste time on that. Realistically, it should be something else, but fine. Here, by the way, make sure that you don't end turn in the underground. And that's because, and I think it could be true for some other pink heroes as well, because obviously Tazar is like much stronger than this hero, and this hero will try to escape, and the problem is that there is an event not far from here where he just gets murdered. It's just an event for this hero, more or less. So I'm not sure why it was even added there, honestly. But something to be aware of. So you don't really want to let him do this suicide. Actually, I think I might have a sharpshooter's bow at this point. I feel like I might have two other components. I'm not particularly excited about it though. Thalanar doesn't have archery, so I don't have a damage boost from the bow. No matter how small it would be actually. And kind of the ability to shoot and melee is not really that useful for Thalanar. Okay, no mana spent, it's always welcome. Yeah, I have a sharpshooter's bow there, that's pretty funny. Okay, actually, it would be easier to just let them flee. Although, it shouldn't be too difficult to avoid losses there with like one or two maybe resurrections. Okay, I'm building up my infernos, finally. I also build vampires just because that's vampires, but I won't end up using them. And I will actually end up using some other unit from the necropolis. Not gonna tell you which one, but I don't have it built in some of my necropolis towns. And fortunately I will have enough of those. I won't need even many, fortunately. Okay, so unfortunately Thalanar doesn't reach this hero. He didn't reach even if I didn't waste time there taking the Cyclops stockpile and other items, so that's why I spent some extra time there to get a little bit more extra resources and such. And since Tazar has one dragonfly, AI may actually even attack. I'm not sure. Maybe it won't attack, but will just stay around. And then there is this fella disembarking next to Adrian, who actually made me a little bit concerned. So that's a main Teal hero. And obviously I want to be fighting him with Tazar. The problem is Tazar is nowhere near. First let's deal with this scout. Shouldn't be a problem. She already cast a spell. So that's a bit annoying that she cast an Inferno, so I basically have to cast 3 resurrections to avoid losses. Or I could just accept minor losses in 3 or like fewer of affected stacks, so that cost me quite a lot of mana actually. Quite a lot of mana, 56 in total. And I got an Armor of the Damned, that's kind of crazy actually. First I was surprised when I was able to assemble a Wizard's Well, but Wizard's Well is not really like a broken strong artifact. Then I got a Sharpshooter's Bow, which is much stronger, especially like with ranged focused armies and with archery skill. And then I get an Armor of the Damned. I don't know, I mean, I certainly would expect at least some of the components to be banned to prevent that. It will definitely make some fights a little bit easier. Okay, Coatl is actually a nice addition. I theoretically could use a Coatl later to, for example, block a shooter for for one or maybe two turns, like a strong shooter. One other thing that I could have done maybe early, like at this point, maybe even a bit earlier, is to go and take some of the more important dwellings. Like there are maybe a couple of Hydra dwellings in the waters around my home. Maybe one, but there are some definitely like Wyvern dwellings, Hydra dwellings. So this would be useful. Especially Hydras, obviously. And look at that, I have once again just 17,000 gold, I think. Just like maybe I don't remember. I didn't check how much I had this turn, but I feel like I may have had like around 200,000. And I do remember that I have like 170,000 like a couple of days ago, maybe. So Tazar's getting ready to face this fella. Unfortunately, and maybe it's a mistake. So Tazar only have 80 mana because of the 3 resurrections against Elmore. So I could have waited in the town here to restore mana. But I will move him forward. So that might be a mistake. Unless, of course, I can also collect a Wizard's Well right away. I don't think I have all components on Tazar though. But this way it's a bit more interesting fight. Okay, Teal is a bit more active than I would prefer. A couple of heroes to the south of my town as well. Well, to the south of my continent. Kind of shapes up to be quite a nuisance. So I think at this point or thereabout, I will decide to go for a town portal. To have a little bit of mobility go and take out any other heroes. There is also a pink hero sailing to the north of the continent, which I don't quite capture a sight of, but I think it's this the main hero, or maybe it's a secondary. I don't remember actually, but they are both on the map already, I think, by this point. So, I mean, I don't know if I should have taken the warehouse there. I think I just figured that I can chain next day. And Verdish has a solid reserve in terms of movement. So she could indeed spend some, but maybe going for a warehouse was a little bit too much. Okay, another enemy Betty. Solid stats, but not really close to ours. And this time we have all spells we need, and basically the only problem at this point is not having a lot of mana to work with. I set up my Dragonfly there to take a hit from Wyverns. So I want to deal with Nyxus before I deal with everyone else, so that I could actually not let him escape, because Nyxus are way too tough to kill them fast. And I only have a couple of resurrections left, just one at this point. Now Bless is very nice, I will take advantage of that. He will lightning bolt me. So I will have to choose between lizards and gorgons to raise. And given that I did not raise yet, I think I will reasonably take gorgons. I think that was pretty apparent that gorgons are more valuable. I want to get the blast here, that's why I skipped a few turns. Okay, I lost one gorgon and 36 lizards. It's a little bit of a pain to lose. Everything else is expendable. Okay. Another Betty is done. So I think I wanna pass items and army to Adrian at this point. and have her go for the town portal. Okay, so I won't be passing all items, will I? I definitely keep some army for Tazar, wyverns and dragonflies, so that he could do some useful things here and maybe defend against some easier opponents. Some micro optimization for a little bit extra mana. I said that I did not I expected Armor of the Damned to be unavailable due to some maybe components to be disabled on a map. But now I think that honestly I don't even consider this artifact to be particularly good. I used to value it very highly in the past, but as the time goes, I actually think worse and worse about it, honestly. It kind of feels like it doesn't affect like really difficult fights in a meaningful way. For example, when you fight a strong enemy, right? You suffer the fact that this armor gives you basically nothing in terms of stats. So just for comparison, you could have a chest piece that gives you +4 attack and defense. You could have a helmet that gives you 6 all. You could have a sword and a shield that both give you +4 and +5 and all stats. So that's how much you lose in stats. Basically, it's 19 attack, 19 defense versus 3 each. And what it gives you is gives you some nice debuffs, right? So that's slow, that's curse. I mean, all of these debuffs are pretty nice. Maybe like nicer in some situations and not very nice in other. But the problem is enemy often has a dispel or cure, so it's kind of basically one spellcast. And another problem is that with these debuffs, AI is actually more likely to cast dispel or cure. And for example, if you apply blind or something to his units or its units, it may as well remove that along with everything else. So these debuffs could actually serve you I already used this term, misfavor, and then I later remembered the proper way to say that, but I again forgot it. Anyway, like it could hurt you, okay? So, and on the flip side, it actually works against neutrals, right? Those cannot dispel, and you really shouldn't, for the most part, you shouldn't suffer from, like fighting neutrals. For the most part, it becomes like it's some relatively easy fights becoming trivial with Armor of the Damned. So it doesn't really make some difficult fight become easy fight. It makes easy fight become very easy fight. That's what I want to say. And there is one case though, one exception when this armor is actually pretty dang good, and that's when the fight is in the magic garrison, or I think it's the same with the red orb of inhibition, I think. So if I'm not mistaken, it's 100% true about anti-magic garrisons, but I'm not like 100% sure about the orb of inhibition, but I'm quite certain that it's also true about them, is that Armor of the Damned will apply the debuffs, even though you won't have the spells to cast. You will still benefit from these debuffs, so that's pretty big use, I think. But other than that, I feel like it's not really that great of an artifact. And I think that it's not a very popular opinion. So Tazar goes to free Dracon here. Although I don't think he actually ends up freeing him. Okay, this is a bit of perception I need here, and I will need like a couple of monks to open quest guards there to a mage dwelling. Oh, finally, earth magic. A very solid army. And when I check the tavern, actually every time is surprised that even with this army, I'm consistently last. I mean, am I last? Didn't I just kill the Teal hero, like a main Teal hero? That's kind of... Maybe it's not like main, maybe it's one of. I actually thought that like probably at least should be stronger than Teal, but well, I mean, that's crazy. So I want to develop Adrienne a little bit, so she will take fights on her way towards Town Portal to hopefully get Expert Earth. Okay, we finally reached the end of this quest chain. It is about... Final quest is to kill the king. The king is a final boss, basically. And the reward is for this quest chain is a fly spell. Okay, this Teal player is Teal hero is a bit annoying, so I probably want to bring Tazar back. Do I actually... Okay, I will be actually fighting archdevils there. Zark cannot resurrect anything, so... I'll have to lose some units, but I figure that it's acceptable. Okay, so I did forget that she doesn't have tactics, so she can't really block enemies there. Okay, time for some boat sailing. And that's one of the quest guards I mentioned that asks for the key, the remove obstacle scroll. Time to get a few more Gorgons. Or, Gorgons, yes. Trade boars for Gorgons. Okay, this one Dragonfly split maybe not very helpful, but they will take a few hits off my main stacks. So at least 4 hits, and probably last as well will... Oh, maybe not, actually. Maybe yes, yeah, it should also take a hit here. Unless I will move my units out, then it won't. Okay, now it won't. Okay, and my dragonfly is gonna kill Nashdale. A hero dragonfly. So I guess I can dismiss Braun here. Yeah. Don't waste a serpent fly when you can waste a gnoll instead. I mean, was I really concerned about the retaliation of like 7 pit lords at best, pit fiends? That is very, very safe play. Dracon without earth magic. Not particularly excited about it. Okay, plus 4,000 movement points. Okay, it's probably empty. Yeah. The fact that there are no guards probably should have tipped me off. And also this one I checked. Also could have expected that it would be empty. Fortunately or luckily, she actually reached the shore. So as you can see, she managed to cover quite a bit of a distance there. I want to take the mine before with Verdish, and I will want to send Tazar to maybe deal with Teal heroes that are way too brazen in my lens. Or maybe not. Maybe I still can ignore them and get some stat boosts here, for example. The Teal heroes are relatively far from my towns, so maybe I, for now, still can ignore them. Okay, those ghost dragons are a little bit of an annoying part of my army. They reduce my morale by 2 and barely add any value, but at the same time it's I don't want to dismiss 7 of these. If I don't end up needing them, I just can sell them for like 21,000 gold. It's not bad. Okay, I was hoping actually, I didn't realize that this fight will be on the quicksand. So that's gonna be a little bit of a pain. With my Gorgons and Hydras getting stuck all over the battlefield. Fortunately, I have a bit of mana to work with. And also very good, they didn't fire any chain lightning. Chain lightning would be probably the most annoying spellcast. I was pretty lucky so far. So far, a single target basically was hit by all spells. That's very lucky actually. could be a little bit more messy if I if they hit like a few chain lightnings. Or maybe even if they focused like their area of effect spells and where I had like a few units like genies and ghost dragons and such. Although I wouldn't be wasting resurrections on genies, to be honest. And I wouldn't be even able to raise ghost dragons. And I wouldn't really be too concerned about losing them either. The 61 will actually be able to hit my Hydras if I... Oh man. If I hit the 35, and I didn't hit, so that's very good. It didn't anger the 61 into blind rage. I mean, they were blind, but not enraged, so that saved me, I guess. The satyr count is actually pretty close, so I have 68 already. Next day is gonna be 76. So one more week and I have 80 for the quest. Oh man. Now the one boar glen that I actually seem to have missed for all this time accumulated 64 boars. So that's 2 months basically. That's quite a lot. Okay, big gun, Teal. There is one more. What is this? Oh, okay, that's not interesting. So we finished month 3 so far. I slowed down a little bit. Mostly because I just don't feel happy about getting into the boat. But now that I dealt with uh, Teal Betty, at least one of, um, and also my Adrian is about to get the town portal. Um, I will feel way more comfortable going for more enemies. Almost got me. Checking whichever stat boosts I can visit with Tazar. Just block them with firebirds, and that's about it, basically. If I hit them, who knows, maybe they would actually kill Firebird with a second hit on their turn. So when your flyer that you use to block shooters is particularly weak, it actually is smarter to just move them next to the shooters instead. Hitting doesn't really give you anything. A nail-biting fight. I was holding my breath for enchanters there. Okay. Barely enough damage with Bloodlust. Or maybe could have used the lightning bolt as well, or something like this. Okay, town portal, finally. Now she can come back. So at this point, even before that, I was thinking about how it would be best to go to the Teal player. And I think the best way to do that is to to embark on a boat from the third town to the north from the third town and sail west. There are a couple of Pandoras to pick up, maybe even 3 Pandoras on the way, so we can actually get to the island we need very fast from there. But we need 1 or maybe 2 scrolls to do that. So I want to stick to learn Town Portal before Adrian leaves. So that's basically what Adrian is waiting for there. Logistics. Okay, if I can develop Stig a little bit more to get all skills to expert, that would be pretty nice. She shapes up a pretty valuable hero. Okay, this is not very lucky. Very unfortunate flow of events, shall we say. Getting two Miss Morales on enchanters in a row. I honestly don't have no idea why would I need the... Well, maybe I actually know why would you need this cliff. Three factions are more or less reserved for the pink player. It's Rampart, it's Tower, it's Castle. And there are some quests that ask for... At least I remember one quest, at least, that asks for angels or archangels. Don't remember exactly. I think archangels, titans and gold dragons. And it gives berserk if I'm not wrong. So I guess these dwellings are supposed to be the source of those creatures. There was also a Cloud Temple, the giant slash Titan dwelling next to Dracon prison. Maybe there are more quests, but it's just the one I do remember about. Maybe these are kind of they have this sort of a purpose. So Adrian will go towards the Teal player. Now that Teal main hero is out of the picture, we actually can do some things, and obviously since Adrian taught Stig all of her spells, including, most importantly, the town portal, well, she can go forward, and Stig will teach everyone else. Verdich has almost everything to be somewhat useful. So she has wisdom, she learned the town portal, and she has basic earth magic, so she can start using town portal when I get her another level, which is what I'm doing right now. Misplaced my units a little bit, but firebirds do not hit very strong. There we go. Now she can use town portal, and she has 40 mana. She can do it 3 times. Crazy. Checked which heroes also have a potential for town portal. And I think Andal also does. Dracon doesn't have wisdom. Okay, so this Dark is annoying. He took my lizards. What a jerk. I probably should go and punish him very hard for this terrible thing, or maybe just continue boosting Thalanar stats, also a reasonable idea. Or I could do both, as you can see. Okay, Thalanar is very angry. Thalanar sees Dark take 50 something lizards. Thalanar angry. Dark not happy about what's gonna happen to him. Okay, he needs to develop his earth magic Teal. He is relatively high level, so he might need to do a few fights to do that, to achieve that. I could have split the snakes into stacks. It would make this fight trivial. Okay, I take this dwelling because there are some quests that require one or another elemental type. I think one of my quests as well ask for water and earth elementals, and the quest would give me 18 fairy dragons, I think. It's in one of my two quest chains at home, the one that I did not yet finish. And fairy dragons are actually, I don't really think it's really a useful reward, to be honest. But that's not the last quest, so it blocks your access to the quest to get 300 wyverns, which is a much better reward. And also it blocks you further access to a quest to kill the king and get the dimension door, which is much more impactful spell than the fly, for example. And as you could see here, we got this boost, one of the... It gave 6,000 movement points, which is quite a lot, you can imagine. And also it gave the blind, the slow, and the summon both, all of which I used to have to use scrolls for, so I have at least a couple of slots free now for the combat. Oh, that's pretty nice. Okay. Just checking a couple of heroes. 2 heroes, I guess. I want to make sure that I don't skip anyone particularly dangerous. Couple of fairy dragons. Okay. So I have 7,000 movement points, so I don't have to open this one. I have more than enough to reach. I mean, more than enough is actually. I think I will disembark somewhere here. Oh yeah. So I maybe even could have skipped one more Pandora. Okay, I'm actually a bit surprised they killed anyone. Although, maybe it shouldn't be. And she got advanced earth magic. Okay, she will also be good to get expert logistics. That would be pretty nice. It'll take some time to level her up though. Oh, pretty nice items. Necklace is pretty good. Also, Mercury Vial. Quite nice to have. If you don't forget to equip it, that is. Maybe one day I'll get a full cornucopia. That would be pretty cool. There you see the blue player is actually seemingly pressuring the Teal. Just disembarked. Okay. We'll see if he actually attacks the town. I'm a bit doubtful about that. Okay, so more boosts with Tazar. Basically, there are not many big ones on the map. There are some libraries, maybe around 5 to 7 that are accessible. But most are not that easy to reach. So what we are left to do is to visit like some small boosts, but that's fine. Adrian is pushing, and Tazar, I wouldn't be sending him with his army towards a red player, for example. That would be my closest neighbor across the sea. Okay, that's a very good level up. So actually he can do some town portal stuff now. Okay, blue did not take... Wait, what? He's on a boat. Okay, I actually thought that he disembarked previous day. But maybe he actually just embarked instead. Well, we'll see. Teal should not be particularly strong. So I would expect that this indicates that this blue hero is a scout. Probably with some average or kind of small army. So I guess I want to develop his earth magic as well, since he has wisdom at least, and there is a witch hut that gives earth magic. Interesting. I would expect to send him to a different necropolis to get earth magic first. Maybe it's a little bit of a mistake. If I did send and give him earth magic first, this level up may have given him advanced earth magic, which is almost as good as I could get for him. Dracon is waiting for the next week to collect satyrs and finally hand in the quest. It doesn't seem like there is much of activity. I may have messed up here. Not sure how am I going to... Oh, okay. Well, it was a lucky shot actually. I think they rolled near maximum damage with this shot. So I got a decent amount of sulfur. Maybe it's the time to upgrade Hydras. Finally, month 4, Hydra upgrade. I do this actually habitually. I mean, there are some tier 7 creatures that you want to upgrade as fast as possible, like the easiest example is Titans. Giants are fine in the early game, but definitely so much worse than Titans than that it's actually not funny. So I would obviously want to upgrade those real fast. And Archangel's another probably easy example. Although angels are strong, but it's just that Archangels are just provide so much value. This is just a... Well, first it's just a map that is a little bit short on resources, but also in general it's... I mean, I played the Mysterious Island before with Dungeon, so I upgraded Black Dragons near the end of the map, and I didn't even use them, so I could have even never done it, to be honest. And thinking back about this playthrough, I may have actually even never built red dragons, to be honest. They did not provide that much value to me, so so naturally upgrading a level 7 creature is even more so not critical to your progress on the map. And I think this playthrough is an example to a degree. Hydra upgrade is obviously pretty nice, but it's not that impactful. So I'm scanning for something. Yeah, I think I was looking for this Teal hero, and I think that's the place where he popped. Yes, indeed. Okay. Finally, 80 satyrs. I have a decent bank. Now, there is a quest that will give me a bunch of knowledge. That's pretty good for money. I can buy, at this point, I can buy about 33 knowledge. Pretty good. Not enough to be happy, but that's a good start. A bit of a maybe spoiler, maybe not really a spoiler, but the knowledge what I was talking about is mainly concerning the final boss, the king. So my plan at this point, I have an idea how I will be fighting him, right? And in the latest version, he has power of the dragon armor set, so he is immune to basically all of the magic. And it means that we need to find a way to deal with him in reliable manner without relying on blind, for example. In this version, he was supposed to have a sleep keeper and dependent of dispassion, so he would be hard immune to berserk and like have basic immunity to all mind spells, but well, he ended up unequipping both of these items. But anyway, I actually decided to fight him as if he had immunities, so because otherwise it's I think an extremely easy fight. A fight that is not worth the final boss, let's say. And so to fight him without mind spells, I would need a lot of mana. My envisioned strategy requires a lot of mana to do that, so well, stick around to find out the strategy. Adrian is doing some good job here, dealing with Teal player. Second taunt about to go. There is one more. Okay, this is a pretty solid hero. Well, not in terms of stats. Solid army, for sure. Maybe I could just visit Hermit's shack to get expert earth magic with him and be done. Okay, good. So far, only lizards were under fire. Maybe I can kill wyverns with dragons. Okay, no. I can't. Okay, so a little bit of an awkward situation. Okay, I'm not gonna be winning this round. Hypnotize. Okay. I would actually block this spell. Although blind is available, so why would you block? Hypnotize among other things. Sometimes though it can be extremely strong, like absolutely broken. In particular, let's say we take the king fight. So he only has 3, maybe 4 stacks, big stacks predefined, and he may end up with like 1 or 2 garbage stacks. So in theory you could actually have a very early target for the Hypnotize in a fight against him. And he's also quite likely to have, let's say, a first aid tent or an ammo cart. And if both of these are true, you could theoretically get a unit next to his ammo cart or first aid tent and block it with his hypnotized unit, and then just do whatever you want. Although, again, he has, in latest version, he has armor, dragon's armor basically set. So he's immune, but maybe some other secondaries would be vulnerable to something like that. Okay, final town would be pretty close. Easy to reach. And the blue hero is actually not a problem. I think I will fight him with Tazar here. Even if Tazar ends up losing some units, he doesn't have resurrection. Just a reminder. I don't think it's gonna be a lot that he would lose, so it's fine. Okay, what I'm considering here is to send this fella on a boat and have him basically pass entire army next day to him and send him to red player. I'm not sure it is really necessary. Adrian will have basically full turn next day to do just that, and she's a bit stronger and also has more mana. And actually expert in navigation, so I'm not sure I particularly like this option, what I'm at least seemingly intend to do here. Okay, fella, let's talk. Just don't run away. Okay, you won't run away, or maybe you will. Ah, okay, I didn't realize that the flag is not gonna has already been visited before. Okay, just don't run away, fella. One more Teal player, hero. Again, the same place. Probably the same hero. Okay, I saw him like a bajillion times now. Okay. Seems like there is nothing left, so Adrian can and should go. Well, that, just as I said, Adrian will go on her own, and she actually reached the boat. Yeah, the combat losses are a bit worrying. Losing 300 dragonflies was not a part of my plan. I see, okay. He has blind, so he's gonna be annoying me. Well. Tough decision. If I cast Cure, he's probably just gonna reblind Wyverns the very moment. Okay, so that actually is sensible, maybe, I don't know. Oh man, okay, this morale was a little bit annoying. I guess haste, maybe. Haste on Wyverns. Not a difficult fight, maybe a little bit tricky to keep losses down because of the blind and a relatively decent army actually. Capable of at least dealing some damage. Okay, I actually don't kill the items in one hit, right? Okay, I have a necklace of ocean guidance. That's very good. Very happy about this one. Now I need the captain's hat, and I will be basically the happiest camper. That's 50 wyverns, and this one should be easily attainable. 300 news. I have 3 cove towns by now. I won't even have to go visit dwellings on the map to collect what I need. And if I'm not mistaken, this quest will give me 50 hydras. Which is crazy actually, I'm very happy. That's, I think, the best quest in this quest chain. And if I were to change something, I maybe would have changed the final quest to give either hydras or gorgons maybe. Because honestly, wyverns Well, the second to last quest, just a reminder, it gives 300 wyverns. Wyverns are not bad, they're a decent unit, but I feel like they just drop off a little bit in the end game. And definitely they're significantly worse than Gorgons or Hydras. So since it's a second to last quest, maybe it would make sense to give one of those. There is a one quest chain for Teal. I mentioned it probably. Well, not probably. Definitely mentioned. Don't remember if it was part 2 maybe. So this quest chain will give me at least a captain's hat. I don't remember if there is also a necklace of guidance for Teal in one of its quests, but as you can see, I have a necklace of oceanic guidance already. And so I need the captain's hat, and I have an admiral's hat. And that will help me a lot with naval movement. And so I need Tark, and I need one other Teal hero to do this chain. Fortunately, there are no defeat monster blocker quests there. At least I'm up to the captain's hat. Okay, so I think it was a part of a replayed portion, so this Steel Hero was a little bit of a nuisance. And I think he has a relatively strong army, I don't remember, maybe he doesn't. It's that scout, I think, right? But Adrian is in the boat with her army. With my basically entire army, so... And also she's with Resurrection Scroll and with everything, so... I sent this fella to recover the army, and then to beat the invader, and then I want to pass the army back to Adrian. Okay, he has a decent army actually. What? How much damage did the Hydras deal? Did they fail to kill a single Wyvern? Really? Okay. I could attack both Nyxes and Hydras, couldn't I? It was pretty stupid if I didn't, and well, I didn't definitely. Maybe I couldn't, I don't know. My units are not haste, not... well... I think I have a +2 speed cloak, don't I? So I think Hydras should be actually pretty comfortably reaching Nyxes there. Okay, that was maybe a rash decision. Now, one thing I actually could, even before sending Tazar there, I could actually first hand in the quest and even pass the 50 more Hydras along with it. A bit of a mistake there. They got my items back. That's pretty important. Don't want to be fighting with whatever Heart Leech has in his inventory, which is not much. Okay, this one is kind of will take forever to finish because of just a single leprechaun dwelling on the map. The 150 is, what is it? Like 17 weeks? Something like that? Yeah, 17 weeks growth of leprechauns, and obviously it's... Even if I had this dwelling from day one, I would have to still wait for another month, almost. Needless to say that I did not have it on day one. Okay, just checking my options for how do I get to the red, and I would probably go north from here. Maybe there is a box somewhere that would be pretty nice. Okay, there it is, but it's kind of maybe eliminates the whole purpose of going for the box. I mean, of the box, if I have to go spend 3,000, even more, a little bit, movement points just to take advantage of it. Just in terms of movement, it would still be a net positive, but I would have to spend the remove obstacle scroll for that, which is not ideal if I don't get the full value. Also, I would probably still not be able to reach the destination the same day, and I will probably still reach the destination on the next day, even if I don't take it. So basically, if you look at it from this perspective, at least Pandora would make no difference. Hydras, that's nice. And I just can't wait to see how my army becomes stronger than at least maybe like a couple of players. That would be nice. Thunder Helm is next to Adrian there. Something to could be pretty useful. So since we don't need knowledge in combat, this helmet is perfect to have on when you like double your mana, for example. And well, obviously you don't want it to be equipped outside that. But since there are like some magic springs, there are also 3 dungeon towns on the map. Okay, Adrian is on another continent. I disembarked her a little bit. Well, she didn't have a lot of movement, but also there was a red hero not far. And I'm not sure if it's a thrown hero or weak. So just to be safe, I disembarked a little bit further from the position of that hero. Okay, right, do some activity in the lower part of the map. Maybe even gonna fight the pink hero there. Who knows? Oh, maybe I can chain a few heroes here. Now that I have Town Portal, I could do it even without Town Portal, to be honest though, but it does require a little bit of planning. So I will send Dracon to keep going. Maybe not the best choice, to be honest though. He doesn't have logistics. He might not be reaching the town. Maybe he does. Okay, he reached the road and should be close enough. Okay, getting ready for the next week in the stables, and hopefully also we'll continue the attack on red. Okay, seems like we are set for the next day already. I shouldn't forget about those 50 hydras though. And also upgrading my hydras would make sense as well. Apparently the main hero is somewhere else and not here. That's very good to see. There is really no point. Okay, maybe there is actually. Okay. I don't know though. Developing Dracon is kind of pointless. It's just not worth the time. He has 2 knowledge. So he can barely town portal once. Okay, red has just one town left. Maybe I should fix the items a little bit. I didn't really give that much to Adrian, and Tazar has some of the items like this escape of velocities. Definitely a main hero material. Also, arena suppression is nice to give. Some other items, definitely. Okay, we didn't reach the next town, but it's pretty close. And it's Tazar, so I'm not concerned if he gets attacked. Should be capable of handling whatever may jump at him. Perhaps it makes sense to send a couple of heroes here to scout a little bit around. Maybe visit a couple of observatories just to have some visibility, and also, yeah, so also fixing artifacts on some of my better heroes. Ideally you'd want to have boots and gloves on every hero, and I actually definitely could have done a much better job with this, but at least I fixed boots on at least one of them. I think I may have enough of those to actually equip everyone. So I could have done better, for sure. That's a nice town there. I think it has a Grail build. So, well, we'll get to it. It's also next to a Warlock slab, which is a very, very useful objective. Teal is probably gonna be gone. Not really trying to fight anything back. Basically wasting time somewhere. But it only has one decent hero, more or less. And as soon as he's gone, I will be able to hire one of his heroes for the quest chain that he has. The one that I mentioned that offers a captain's hat as a reward. Okay. Wasted Tazar here, unfortunately. Could have sent a secondary hero. But you never know which town will be guarded by a main and which won't be. Okay. That's a pretty nice feature that how the team implemented there, but that when you cast View Air and View Earth, you can actually see a combined result when just viewing the world. Finally added my extra 50 Hydras and upgraded them as well. Anyway, folks, that's about it for today. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.